Welcome to another interesting episode of the Dosage. Today we're talking about the quota system. Yes, I've talked about it so many times, and people are saying I'm rather emotive about it and all that. Now, the quota system was introduced in Zambia just to restrict on a restriction of only 5 foreign players to be playing in the league, which is rather okay. People are saying it will strengthen the national team and all that. Yes, whatever the case, but here's the thing: the quota system will survive or it will fail, and it will depend on only one thing. Only one major thing can make the quota system serve its purpose or fail. Before I even tell you that one thing, hit the subscribe button, share this video, like this video, and hit the notification bell button not to miss any episode on Sporty Dosage. Now, on the flip side, I've mentioned that one thing. Stay with me here. Now, the quota system initially, it's a quota is more like a restriction on on a certain number of players or things that you do on a day-to-day basis. Now, coming in the Zambian Super League, the restriction is just about 5 foreign players for each squad, and it goes on to the National League, and there should be no foreign players in the first division, which is okay. But coming to the quality of the league, people are saying it's going down because clubs are signing what. But that one thing I've particularly said is scouting. What can make the quota system serve its purpose diligently and wisely is scouting. Also, it can make it fail. How can the quota system fail because of scouting? How can the quota system succeed because of scouting? Here's why. The quota system can succeed or it can fail depending on how the scouting is done. Here is how it can fail. Teams would have good players and good quality players in the league, would have good quality players from National League. They would bring in players to come and play for a particular team. At the end of the day, if that player is of low quality because of non-due diligence or non-proper scouting, we will still continue having poor quality in the Super League, which will in turn affect the national team, and which in turn it will affect how Zambian clubs will perform in the CAF competitions. If no scouting is done, no proper scouting, if teams are unable to identify a proper scouting network and form proper scouting networks and have a proper scouting policy and transfer, this can cause so much underperforming players being recruited by Super League teams, and deserving players will end up playing and under quality players will end up playing. This in turn will also have those side effects that I mentioned earlier. I'm really serious about this because look, foreign players might be good and bad as well if scouting is not done. This is how scouting is making it is even brought to the issue of quota system. People are saying foreign players being brought in Zambia are of low quality. Who's to blame? It's the team themselves. If those teams were able to have proper scouts to scout this particular foreign player, scout him, put a tag on him for maybe like 3-4 months, invest in that scout, you could get the best foreign player out there, minus those weird conditions that were put in place. Coming to the local league as well, you can get a ridiculous, not so good player if you don't have scouts, proper scouts. But if you have a good scouting network, you'll be able to spot a natural good player in the rural areas and bring him or her to a Super League teams in just those lower league side. Zambia has about 10 provinces, meaning 180 Division 1 sides to scout from. Not mentioning about Division 2 and 3, 4 and 5. So scouts here is they can make it. If no proper scouting is done, the quota system cannot serve its purpose and it can fail. You end up recruiting low quality players every time and will always look for a scapegoat and firing coaches in the Zambia national team, Zambian Super League as well. Now, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to mention how the quota system can be a success through scouting. So here's how the quota system can be a huge success if proper scouting is done. You go out there as scouts, the team has good scouting networks, they invest in proper academy policies, meaning that teams who have networks where they can easily send 2 or 3 scouts. Oh, go to the northwestern province, just go around these lower leagues, watch these lower league games week in, week out, and bring for us maybe a player from an age of 16 years to 21, should be a defender, this and this and this. You give the profile to the scout. The scout will go there and headhunt that particular player and observe that player, his ins, his outs, for maybe about a month, 2 or even 3 months, and be able to give you a proper feedback and recommendation on what kind of a player he has found out there. And you can get the player to assess them yourself. And like this issue of calling in trials, it's a waste of resources. You cannot trust a player over just one day. They have been trialed 1 week, or that is gone or it's done. But if you have scouts, they'll be able to get you the right kind of player in line with the player profile that you've given them that you want. This way, the quota system will even serve its purpose, because scouts will only focus on what kind of quality they want to bring in. Even if the player is a foreign player, they will be able to scout them diligently and bring to you proper feedback. So this is why I mentioned scouting is really a huge turning point here. Really huge. Poor scouting will make the quota system fail. Good scouting will make the quota system great. If teams are able to invest in good scouts, meaning that the performance in the Super League will be great, National League, Continental Championships. I'll give an example of who's this, the under-20 striker, Kins Mutando. I was recently scouted by one of my very good friends who's a blogger from, should be Central Province, where the player came from. Denesikas actually, Njanji. Helped in scouting this player. Of Lusaka, Atletico Lusaka got interested, and here he is at the under-20 national team, and even scored the winning goal in the COSAFA under-20 championship. So you see the ripple effects of good scouting and what scouts can do for you, even in place of the quota system. So this creates a whole new challenge where teams have to put in scouting policy, player policy, what they want. This also creates a room for employment as well for scouts out there who would go out and headhunt. There are many coaches out there who got Phase E, Phase D. They can work as scouts for you and do that. So take this seriously. To all the teams in the Super League, National League, invest in scouting networks. It will do wonders for you. This has been your say on the dosage. Thank you very much.